Ah, good to see you there, my friend. Come and take a seat here by the fire. As I have stated many times before, at its core, TTRPG games like D&D are to get together with friends and create together a story. And sometimes conflicts do arise, and that's when you need to sit down and leave your ego at the door and talk things over like friends and adults. Getting kicked from friend group over D&D r/RPG horror stories, posted by Jay the Snake 1. This is my second post and part 2 for my previous post, so if you are interested, please go ahead and read it. However, this story is separate, yet containing the same people. The people within the story are myself, Rowan, Aiden, Isaac, and Jay. After a painstakingly year of bad D&D with random rules and punishments being added to the rules, Rowan decided that they wish to begin a brand new campaign. This one would be co-DM'd by Rowan and Isaac, and all the rules would be found within the 5th edition Player's Handbook. This was the campaign that I decided should be my last attempt. Unfortunately, I never got to play. Rowan decided the only rule that would be changed is the carrying capacity. Rather than taking your strength score and multiplying it by 15, he insisted that multiplying by 5 is better. I did the math for my character, a Warforged Cleric of the Forge, which I got permission for, and the carrying capacity with my score of 17, I could only carry 85 pounds. This didn't seem so bad until I realized that all my gear would make me begin as encumbered. I thought about how late game would look, and with 7 players, all with animals to carry extra gear, it would eventually look silly to have a caravan of a party with 7 donkeys right off the bat. Then I realized that this would not seem too bad, but all the players with lower scores would never be able to carry anything. So I decided to go to our Discord server and ask questions about the rule and state my concerns. Jay, who had died a total of 13 times that I was there for, decided to make a bugbear fighter so he could get double reach and avoid damage more. So Jay did not need to worry too much about the carry weight because according to him and Rowan, Jay was considered large and had a significantly larger carry weight. Eventually Rowan joined the conversation and got defensive, ignoring everything I would say, his only rebuttal to anything I said being, "Yeah, maybe not fun for you." Eventually, we decided that all the players should vote about it, and we go with that. A vote was the perfect way to settle it. I would go with whatever was decided. They held the vote the next day. Everyone except for me. They held the vote without telling me when it was held, and no one telling me about the time of the vote until it was 3 days later. Now, some background information before I state this next part. I was in a bad game for a whole year with this group. I had even known some of them for several years. So, whenever an issue came up in the game, I would bring it up because I always want to make sure that everyone has fun. It was common for Aiden to get ignored for hours on and during the game, only getting to participate in combat. Yet nothing would ever get fixed because the issue would get ignored and buried until no one would bring it up anymore. Back to the story. The day after the vote, Aiden wanted to speak up. He was unhappy with things being buried under the rug and wished for people to discuss problems and not to exclude anyone from the solution. This was when I learned about the vote I was left out of, and decided to stay out of the chat in hopes of people deciding to listen to someone other than me. The only person to respond was Rowan. Now, let us play a quick game. Did Rowan respond to Aiden? 1. With understanding, 2. By ignoring him, or 3. With manipulation. Now, if you selected 3, then you are correct. However, everything stated was targeting me, which was weird, since I wasn't even present for the conversation. Rowan exclaimed that I was a manipulator, a child, and someone who used the victim card. This list of constant personal attacks and lies, all directed towards me, had gone on for so long that it covered my phone screen twice. So, as a result, I was about to speak up and found myself removed from the group. Every single Discord server and group chat we had, I am no longer in. I don't know what I did to piss off someone I had considered as my friend for a solid 8 years. I try to vocalize all my issues and listen to their problems. Yet this is what 8 years gets me. It has been 2 weeks since then, and Rowan has shown me no apology and no signs of remorse, so I am not playing until I get at least an apology for a year's worth of bullying, ignoring, and borderline abuse. TLDR, I participated in a game for a year that was torture, spoke openly about issues in hopes to improve the game for everyone else. Yet in the end, I was removed from all group chats over a 5E rule, which was blown up into manipulation and personal attacks. I'm sorry to hear that things were not able to be resolved amicably with OP and their friend. As always, stories like this is usually just one side of the story, but with what has been presented here, Rowan does sound pretty manipulative. And the fact that the vote was held without OP's knowledge was not cool. I would put a bit of that blame also on the other people in the group as well, because they could have very easily given OP the heads up about that meeting and vote. Also, the fact that this was over the encumbrance rule was pretty BS. Even raw, the rule is only there to really explain the physics behind carrying thousands of gold pieces, and even then, you could have just gotten a bag of holding. Yeah, if anything, the issue about encumbrance sounds more like an excuse for Rowan to attack OP. Yeah, I know how difficult it is to find a gaming group, but as they say, sometimes it's better to have no D&D than bad D&D, especially bad D&D with toxic people. Be sure to hit that like and subscribe button if you want to see more content like this. And would you kindly follow the socials posted in the description below. As always, be good, be great, be awesome.